Hello everyone, Professor Vaibhav Shah here. Hope you have gone through my previous lecture, Lecture 1, Introduction for Engineering Curves. If not, then I insist you to go check that lecture first. It is covering all the basic contents like what are engineering curves and its applications, understanding of conics with pictorial representation, classification of engineering curves, understanding of various engineering curves and its definitions, and nomenclatures that we'll be using in our subsequent lectures. In today's lecture 3, we'll be learning how to draw an ellipse by rectangle method or oblong method. If you like my content and teaching style, then share it with your friends and do not forget to like and subscribe to show your love and support. Let us begin. So first, we'll be looking through the step-by-step procedure to draw an ellipse by a rectangle method or widely known as oblong method. So now, first of all, before moving ahead, we must understand we require three basic fundamentals before drawing an ellipse. We require major axis, minor axis, and two focal points F1 and F2. Before getting these three things, we can't proceed for any of the methods. So let us start. But before that, let us take, for this example, we are having two things, major axis and minor axis. So here two things are given, major axis and minor axis. So let us start step by step. So first we'll plot a major axis horizontally like this. After that, we'll be identifying the center point or midpoint of this major axis, and from that midpoint, we'll be drawing one vertical minor axis. After that, we'll be specifying V1, V2 to the major axis points, and we'll specify V3, V4 as minor axis points. Now, in next step, we'll be taking half of this major axis dimension V1O on our rounder. We'll put our rounder at one of the point V3 of your minor axis here, and we'll try to cut your major axis on the left hand side portion, as well as we'll try to cut your major axis on the right hand side portion like this. So we'll be having focal point F1 on the major axis on the left hand side, and we'll be having one another focal point F2 on the right hand side of the major axis. After that, now in next step, which is the most important step, so we'll be dividing the portion of V1O into suitable number of equal parts. Either you can divide into 4 parts, 5 parts, or 6 parts. In this case, we have divided the portion between V1 and O into 5 number of equal parts. So now, if you are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts, then you must divide this vertical line also into the same number of equal parts. Means here in this case, we'll be dividing this vertical line into same number of equal parts, 5 parts. So now let us give numbering. So we'll start from 0 point here at V1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fifth point would be O point itself. Now we'll start numbering from once again V1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth point would be D point itself. So we have divided this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts. That means we have to compulsorily divide this vertical line also into 5 number of equal parts. Now let us move to our next step. So in next step, we'll be connecting this point 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, and 4 dash, each of the points to your vertex V3. So let us join 1 dash V3, 2 dash to V3, 3 dash to V3, 4 dash to V3. Next step, we'll be moving here. So we'll be drawing one line starting from your V4, passing from your 4 point and touching your 4 dash line. We'll be drawing one another line starting from your V4, passing from your point 3, touching your 3 dash line. We'll be drawing one more line starting from your V4, passing from your 2 point and touching your 2 dash line. After that, we'll be drawing one more line from your V4, passing from your point 1 and touching your 1 dash line. After drawing this line, we'll be having points of intersection like this. We are having these points of intersection. So let us specify these points of intersection. So first point would be P1, this is P2, P3, P4. After that, we'll be following the same procedure for 3 of these remaining rectangles. So I will just brief you about this second rectangle, and after that you have to just try it by yourself for these two rectangles. So let us see for this rectangle. So what we'll do is we'll divide, likely this we have divided into 5 parts. So we have once again we are dividing this portion between OV2 into 5 number of equal parts, and if we are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts, that means we have to compulsorily divide this portion also into 5 number of equal parts. So let us see, we have divided this portion into 5 number of equal parts, and we have also divided this portion into 5 number of equal parts. After that we will be starting numbering from here. V2 as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 point would be O point itself. We'll be giving numbering vertically 0, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash and 5 point would be your point here. Now after that we'll be drawing line from your 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. Likewise in this case we have drawn line connecting to your V3. So we'll be drawing line 1 dash to V3, 2 dash V3, 3 dash V3, 4 dash V3. After that we have to just draw line starting from your V4, passing from your 4 point, connecting your 4 dash line. Starting from your V4, passing from your 3 point, connecting your 3 dash line. Starting from your V4, passing from your 2 point, connecting 2 dash line. Starting from your V4, passing from your 1, connecting your 1 dash line. Then give numbering as you are intersecting this one line here. So we will start numbering here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So likewise you have to complete for these two rectangles the same procedure. Now after getting the procedure done, we'll be having total n number of points here. You can see P1, P2, P3, P4, Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1. Here R1, R2, R3, R4, S4, S3, S2, S1. After getting this point, you have to just simply join these points. You will be having this final figure as your required ellipse. So very simple procedure. You have to draw one rectangle. So first you will be constructing horizontal line, vertical line of major and minor axis. After that you will be drawing one rectangle, inscribing this major and minor axis. After that you will just divide this horizontal portion into suitable number of equal parts like 4, 5 or 6 parts. Similarly you have to divide this vertical line into same number of equal parts as that of your horizontal line. After that you will be drawing each of the points from each of the points line connecting to your V3 vertex point here. And after that you will be drawing starting from your line V4, passing from these of the points and connecting these respective lines. And after getting for this all 4 of the rectangles, you will be having the final element as an ellipse. So let us understand it by one of the examples. So example number 1, draw ellipse by rectangle method. Take major axis 100 mm and minor axis 70 mm. So first of all we'll be drawing our major axis of 100 mm first. We have drawn this major axis of 100 mm. After that we'll be drawing one vertical line of minor axis which is your 70 mm. So we have drawn our minor axis. Always remember that we are drawing half of the minor axis above this major axis here. So that means it is a 35 mm and this is another 35 mm. So total minor axis would be your 70 mm. After that give the naming as AB to the major axis and CD to the minor axis. After that we'll be drawing one rectangle inscribing these two major and minor axis. So let us draw one rectangle in which your length is equal to your major axis and your height is equal to your minor axis. After that we'll be dividing this vertical portion of this line into equal number of parts. So let's say we are dividing this vertical portion of line into 4 number of equal parts. So let us divide this portion into 4 number of equal parts and give numbering as 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are starting numbering from this point obviously. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if you have divided this portion into 4 number equal part, then you must divide this horizontal line into 4 number equal parts only. So let us divide this horizontal line into 4 number equal parts. So we have divided this horizontal line into 4 number equal parts starting from your A point 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. After that we'll be drawing lines from 1, 2, 3 connecting your D point. So let us draw lines from 1, 2, 3, 1 to D, 2 to D, 3 to D. After that we'll be drawing lines from your C point passing through your 1 point connecting your 1 line. So let us draw a line passing through 1 point connecting 1 line. Then once again we'll be drawing lines starting from your C point passing through your 2 point connecting your 2 line. Let us draw one more starting from your C point passing through your 3 point connecting your 3 line, and likewise. After that we have the points of intersection. So let us denote this point of intersection by a dark point. So we'll be specifying this point first. This is the end point of a major axis, obviously the starting point of your ellipse. After that we'll be specifying this point. After that, we'll be specifying this point. After that, we'll be specifying this point, and finally this point, because this is the point of your minor axis. After getting these points, let us join these points by a smooth curve. So we'll be having 1/4 of your ellipse. Now we'll be repeating this procedure into this rectangle. So I will be dividing this horizontal portion into 4 number of equal parts, because we have divided this portion into 4 number of equal parts. So let us divide this portion into 4 number of equal parts. Similarly, we will divide this vertical portion also into 4 number of equal parts. So let us do the procedure. We'll be dividing this vertical portion first 4 number of equal parts. Then after we'll be dividing this horizontal portion into 4 number of equal parts. Obviously, we'll be starting 0 from your point B. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. After that, you have to draw lines from 1 to 3 points connecting your D points. So let us draw lines from 1 to D, 2 to D, 3 to D. After that, we'll be drawing lines starting from your C point, passing from your 1, connecting your 1. So let us draw one line starting from your C point, passing from your 1, connecting your 1 line. Now let us draw one line starting from your C point, passing to 2 and connecting 2. Similarly, draw from third point. After getting, we'll be identifying points of intersection. So let us identify the point of intersection like previous method. Now after getting these points of intersection, we'll be just joining these points by a smooth curve. So let us join these points. Now if you repeat this procedure for these two rectangles, you will be having one more half portion of your ellipse. So this is your required ellipse by rectangle method. Now let us see one more example. Problem number 2. The major axis AB of an ellipse is 140 mm long with P as its midpoint. The foci F1 and F2 of ellipse are 48 mm away from the midpoint P. Draw ellipse and find the length of its minor axis. Draw an ellipse by rectangle method. So here the major axis of ellipse is given 140 mm and foci distance from your midpoint are given. So let us draw first the major axis of 120 mm. So we have to draw one horizontal line of 120 mm and denote it by point A and B, which is showing a major axis. After that, we will be specifying this midpoint as point P, which is the center point of your major axis. After that, from your center point or midpoint P, our two foci are 48 mm on the either side. So let us plot the first focal point F1 48 mm away on the left hand side and F2 48 mm away on the right hand side. Like this, 48 mm away from the left hand side, 48 mm away on the right hand side. After getting this F1 and F2, our next task would be to find out its minor axis, which is not given in our data. So as we know that minor axis would be a vertical line passing from your midpoint. So let us draw one arbitrary vertical line, because we don't know the exact dimension of your MN. So we'll first draw the arbitrary vertical line, and on this line we'll try to find out this position of your point M and N. So just draw one arbitrary vertical line of any length, and after that we'll be finding out point M and point N of your minor axis. So let us start. Next step, we'll be taking half of your minor axis dimension like A to P. So select half of this minor axis dimension A to P on your rounder now. Put your rounder at point F1, focal point F1. After that, try to cut this vertical line just above this major axis here. So you will be getting point M. And once again, put your rounder once again on F1 and try to cut this vertical line downwards here. So you will be having this point M above somewhere here and N somewhere here. So after getting this M and N point, this would be your minor axis. After getting minor axis and major axis, you will be drawing one rectangle, inscribing your minor axis and major axis inside your rectangle. After drawing your rectangle, we'll be dividing this horizontal line into suitable number of equal parts. So let's say in this case, we are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts. If we are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts, that means that you have to compulsory divide this vertical portion of this rectangle into 5 number of equal parts. So let us give numbering now. 0, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, and P point would be 5 dash itself. Now we'll start numbering from 0. Once again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 point would be your E point itself. Now after that we'll be drawing lines from 1, 2, 3, 4 connecting your M point. So let us draw line 1 to M, 2 to M, 3 to M, 4 to M. After that we'll be drawing lines starting from your N, passing from your 4 dash point, connecting your 4 line, Draw one more line starting from your end, passing from your 3 dash point, connecting your 3 line. Draw your line starting from your end, passing from your 2 dash point, connecting your 2 line. Draw line starting from your end point, passing from your 1 dash and connecting 1 line. After getting this intersection point, try to join these points by a smooth curve. You will be having this quarter of your ellipse. And after that, getting the points, you must specify the points here, P1, P2, P3, P4, and here you can, if you want, then P5. Now after that, you will just repeat this procedure on the right hand side. So I will just repeating the procedure for this rectangle only. You can repeat the procedure for these 2 rectangles by yourselves. So let us divide this portion into 5 number of equal parts. Why 5 parts only? Because we have divided this horizontal number into 5 parts. So we must divide this also into 5 parts. So let us divide into 5 parts starting from 0, 0, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, and 5 dash point would be P point itself. Let's divide this vertical line also into 5 parts. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 point would be H point itself. Now after dividing these points, you have to connect 1, 2, 3, 4 to your M point like previously we did. So 1 to M, 2 to M, 3 to M, 4 to M. After that, you will start your line from your point N, passing from your 4 dash, connecting 4 line, starting from your N, passing from your 3 dash, connecting 3 line, starting from your N, passing from your 2 dash, connecting 2 line, starting from your N, passing from your 1 dash, connecting 1 line. After that, join this intersection point and make a smooth curve. Now for these 2 rectangles, repeat the procedure and you will be having your final curve. But now here they say that find out the length of the minor axis. So we must find out the length of minor axis as our one of the answers. So let us measure the distance between M and N, which is the minor axis of your ellipse, and the distance would be 101.9 mm. So you must specify the answer here as minor axis is equal to 101.9 mm. So now let us see one more example. The major axis of an ellipse is 150 mm long and minor axis is 100 mm long. Draw the ellipse by oblong method. So your major and minor axes are given. So let us draw first the major axis of 150 mm long and specify it as V1, V2. After that, identify its midpoint at 0 point or O point and draw one vertical line of minor axis which is 100 mm long, which is M and N. The total distance is 100. That means 50 above line and 50 below line. After that, we'll be dividing this horizontal portion into some suitable number of parts. So let's say we are dividing this horizontal portion into 5 number of equal parts. So we'll start numbering from here. But if we are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts, then it must be that you must divide this vertical portion into similar number of equal parts. Let's say 5 number of equal parts here. So we'll start numbering from here 0, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, and 5 dash. So let us divide this into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 point would be point E itself. Now after that, we'll be drawing lines from 1, 2, 3, 4 connecting your M. So 1 to M, 2 to M, 3 to M, 4 to M. After that, once again, we'll draw lines starting from your end point, passing from your 4 dash point, connecting your 4 line. Draw line starting from your end point, passing through your 3 dash point, connecting your 3 line. Draw line starting from your end point, passing from your 2 dash point, connecting your 2 line. Draw your line starting from your end point, passing from your 1 dash point, connecting your 1 line. After that, we'll repeat the procedure for all of the 3 rectangles, similar way. And after that, you will be getting these points of intersection like this. Like we have seen in our previous example, you have to just connect these points of intersection, you will be having your ellipse. After getting your ellipse, you will specify the points on ellipse like this is your line 1 dash and 1 intersection. We will be specifying this as P1, P2, P3, and P4. Next, this is the intersection of line 4 with 4, so we will specify as P4. This is the intersection of 3 with 3, so specify as P3, P2, and P1. After that, we will specify this point as this is on line 1, so we will specify as P1. This is on line 2, so P2, P3, and P4. Likewise, we will specify this point as, because this is on line 4, so P4, P3, P2, and P4. After that, you have to compulsory give the dimension like this. So my minor axis dimension is 100 and this is the major axis dimension 150. So now, let us see one more example. Problem 4. Draw an ellipse with a 130 mm long major axis and a 80 mm long minor axis. Or draw an ellipse circumscribing a rectangle having sides 130 mm and 80 mm. So that means circumscribing means you have to draw an ellipse inside a rectangle having this dimension 130 mm and 80 mm, which is the same as your rectangle method. So let us start. So first we'll be drawing a major axis of 130 mm. So let us draw a horizontal line of major axis of 130 mm. After that, you will find out the midpoint as point O or point 0. And from that midpoint, let us draw one minor axis of 80 mm, in which 40 mm above this line and 40 mm below this line. So your complete dimension of CD would be 80 mm. After drawing this major axis and minor axis, your next task is to inscribe this major axis and minor axis inside this rectangle. So we'll be drawing one rectangle circumscribing this given major and minor axis. After drawing this, you will be dividing this horizontal line into equal number of parts. And if you are dividing this horizontal line into, let's say, 5 number of equal parts, so we'll be dividing this vertical line into similar number of equal parts. So in this case, we'll be dividing this vertical line into 5 number of equal parts only. So let us divide this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts and let's give numbering. So we'll start numbering from here: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this case, we'll start numbering from here. So 5 is already here written: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. 0 point would be your E point itself. Similarly, we have to divide this portion into 5 number of equal parts. So let us divide this portion into 5 number of equal parts. And similarly, if we are dividing this horizontal line into 5 number of equal parts, that means we must divide this vertical line also into 5 number of equal parts. After that, we'll be giving numbering. So let us start: 0, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash. In this case, 5 dash is already written. So 5 dash, 4 dash, 3 dash, 2 dash, 1 dash, and 0 point would be F point itself. After drawing these points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll be drawing line from your 1, 2, 3, 4 point connecting your C point. So let us draw lines: 1 to C, 2 to C, 3 to C, 4 to C, and if you want to draw a line which is 5 to C, but it is not required because our A point is one of the points of your major axis. So we not to draw any lines from your A point. Now we'll be drawing lines from your starting from your point D. So let us draw lines starting from your point D. We'll be drawing line from your D, passing from your 1 point, connecting your 1 line. So we'll be having point P1. Let us draw line from starting from your D, passing from your 2 point, connecting your 2 line here. You will be having this point as P2. Let us draw one line D, starting from your D, passing from your 3 point, connecting your 3 line. We'll be having this point P3. Let us draw one line D from D, passing from your 4 point, connecting your 4 line here, and we'll be having this point P4. And we know that this is the end point of your major axis, so it is your P5 point already. After that, you have to repeat this procedure on this right hand side rectangle. You will be drawing lines from 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, connecting your C point. And from your D point, you will draw lines passing through your 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, and intersecting your lines 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, and 4 dash. So you will be having this point P1 dash, P2 dash, P3 dash, and P4 dash. After getting all these points, intersection points, you have to simply join these points of intersection, and you will be having your ellipse. But remember that after getting your ellipse, you will be drawing dimensions. So you have to specify your major axis as 130 here and minor axis 80 mm here. So now this is all from my side. Do not forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Keep learning, stay connected, and if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to comment below. Bye-bye.